Hey guys, the Rubik's Cubism here, and today we're back with a new video about my cubing collection. First puzzle we got here today is a Pyraminx that I don't even know the name of. I'm not very into Pyraminx. I know how to solve one, but not very fast, and I don't really care to get better. I ordered a Shangshao off of Amazon, and this is what came, and it's most definitely not a Shangshao, so hopefully I'll be getting a Moyu or a Shangshao or maybe even a Chi or something like that soon, maybe for Christmas. But for now, this is all I have, and I'll have to make do with it, which is fine because I don't solve it that much. Next puzzle we got here is a Shangshao Megaminx. This puzzle is pretty great. It's very smooth. I don't solve Megaminx that much. For the same reason that I don't solve the Pyraminx. I just not very into it, and I don't care about it that much. Definitely not as much as 3x3 or 2x2 or 4x4, something like that. If I ever get into it, I'll probably buy something better than a Shangshao, but for now this is perfectly fine. Next cube here is a Cyclone Boys 2x2. This is a great cube. It's very fast, and right now it's my main. I hope to get the Ling Po for Christmas or some special occasion. But right now this is what I use as my main now that stickerless cubes are allowed. As I said before, it's very fast. I average around 6 to 7 seconds with this. My only complaint with it is that it locks up a couple times in algorithms. But other than that, it's a great cube. Next cube we have here is the Shangshao Mirror Blocks. This is also a pretty great cube. It's very smooth, and this was my first shape mod. I was just getting into cubing. After about a month or so, I bought this. Thought it was very cool. After solving a couple times, it got a little bit boring, but still a great cube, and it even corner cuts a little bit, which is pretty impressive for being a shape mod. Next cube we have here is my Pi Cube prototype. As you can see here, we're missing a cap, which is why I used this cube for the prototype. It's a black Moyu Weilong V2. But yeah, so this is my prototype. All I did was just tape some stickers on, which you guys saw the video about that last week, so I'm not going to go too into depth about this, but it's very special to me. Now, obviously next we have the actual Pi Cube, which is also very special to me, made out of a YJ Guanlong, which of course is a very cheap cube, which is why I made it out of this. A great cube though, and obviously very special to me, and so yeah, like I said, you guys saw the video about this, so if you want to buy one, contact me. Next puzzle is what started it all for me. This is my Rubik's brand that I got back in 2012. It's very broken in. I even Florian modded it a little bit, and I lubed it with just some Vaseline because back then I didn't know better. It's a great cube though. It actually turns really well for a Rubik's brand, and this cube is very special to me because this is the first Rubik's cube I ever got. Second cube we have here is another Rubik's brand. This is obviously very beat up, and I even wrote down a little bit what colors these were supposed to be so I could solve it a couple times. Also a decent Rubik's brand, not as good as the last, but better than when it comes out of the box. As you can see, this is a 25-year anniversary cube for Rubik's, so also a pretty special cube. I actually got this from my friend, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Another cube I have here is a Shangshao 3x3. I don't know what it is. I know it's not the wind, and I know it's not the Aurora, so I don't know what it is exactly. If you guys could tell me what this is based off of the mechanism, that'd be pretty cool. Like I said, I don't know what this is at all, but you guys could let me know. Overall, this cube is not great. It's pretty gummed up. I lubed it too much, but it was alright. I actually stole it from my neighbor, but that's fine. Next puzzle here is my Moyu Weilong V2 Mini. This is my one-handed main, just because not because it's small, just because it's so smooth, and it's a great puzzle. I definitely recommend it for OH. Great shades as always with Moyu. So overall, great cube, very fast, very smooth, doesn't lock up at all. Corner cut's great, over 45. Reverse cuts a little bit too. Hasn't popped on me yet. Haven't had it for too long, but great cube so far. Next cube is another Guanla. I used these center stickers for another sticker mod, but I'm planning on eventually, when I come up with a good idea, making another sticker mod with this cube, just because it's such a great but cheap cube. Next cube is my two-handed main. It's the Moyu Aolong V2. Great cube, very fast, very smooth. I average about 22 to 24 seconds with this, and overall, yeah, it's a great cube. I restickered it with half rights from the cubicle.us, which is, by the way, a great website. If you need any cubes, I would recommend there. But yeah, so great cube. I lubed it with Weight 4, also from the Cubicle, so check them out. And yeah, so my two-handed main. Next cube I got here is another Rubik's brand I restickered with some weird color shades. This is my first time restickering a puzzle, and I wanted to be a little bit crazy, so I got fluoro orange, fluoro green, fluoro pink, purple, white, and yellow. This is a very special cube to me though. It's not the greatest cube. It is a Rubik's brand. It used to be a picture cube, but the reason it's so special is I got it signed by Colin Burns at Norwich Summer 2015. He was a very nice guy, really personable, and I'd love to meet him again. And I had a great time at that competition. But yeah, like I said, this cube's very special to me. Next cube is a Cube for You 3x3x5 cuboid, but it is cubic, so it does not shape shift, but it's a very fun puzzle. It doesn't move the greatest, locks up a bit, and has a center cap problem. Some of the caps fall off pretty easily, but very fun solve, and overall pretty good cube. Next cube is the YJ Yusu 4x4. Pretty cheap economy cube, and it's an okay cube. It feels nice. It has a great feel, pretty smooth, a little bit of grindy feel, but I like the feel a lot. The only problem is it pops a lot, and almost every other solve I'll get a pop, and it's not just an edge piece or anything. It's an internal, an edge, a corner, so it's pretty extreme, and that's why I don't use it that much. I'm scared that it's gonna pop, and I actually lost an internal piece somewhere in there because of these pops. Second 4x4 is the Shengshao 4x4 V3 modded. Consta and Florian modded this, and it's great. It lasted me a very long time. I used this as my main for a couple months, and the only problem I had with it was the inner layer lockups with all Shengshao 4x4s. Also, it's very loud, so if you guys couldn't hear that, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, great cube after modding. Yeah, so I also stole this from my neighbor, but he allowed that after I modded it. He was okay with that. Great cube. Third 4x4, last 4x4, and my main 4x4, the Yuxin, or Yushin. This cube is absolutely amazing. I don't have the Aosu yet, but I'm hoping for that for Christmas. either that or the mini Aosu. But for now, this is a great cube. The outer layers are insanely fast. A lot of people say the inner layers of the Yushin 4x4 are pretty slow, but I actually don't find to have a problem with that. They're pretty fast on mine, and I averaged from about 120 to 140, anywhere in between there. Not very consistent on 4x4. I hope to get better. It's one of my favorite events. And yeah, so this is a great cube. Definitely recommend it to any speed cuber, beginning to all the way to advanced. Pretty cheap. I think it was about 14 bucks on the Cubicle. And so if you're looking for a good 4x4 for pretty cheap, definitely go with the Yushin. They've been coming out with some pretty good cubes nowadays. You know, their 3x3 is pretty good, and their 5x5 is also very good. I don't have either of those, but I plan to get both of them. Next cube I have here is the Shengshou 5x5. This cube is pretty good for a beginner, and by no means am I anything more than a beginner, which is why this is still my main. I don't like the feel very much. It's very grindy, locks up a bit, gotten a few pops on it, and it's not that loose. You know, it's pretty tight, but I definitely could tighten it a little bit more, but it's already not too fast, so I wouldn't want to do that. It also came in white, which is not my preference of cube color, so that's also another downfall. But for right now, when I average not even sub 5, this is just fine. Next cube is the Shengshou 6x6. I actually really like this cube. A lot of people say theirs is pretty slow, which when I get down to the inner layers, it is pretty slow. But for now, this is fine. I'm not focused on anything bigger than a 4x4 right now. But, you know, this is fun to solve when I need to occupy some time. It takes me about 9 to 10 minutes to solve, so like, once again, no, by no means am I more than a beginner on this. So this is just fine for now, and I really like this cube. It's very good for beginners and very smooth, and even though it's a little bit slow, I like it a lot. Next couple cubes are some mini 3x3s that I have here. We got a mini 3x3 that I stole from my neighbor. Once again, I steal a couple of his cubes every once in a while, but he's fine with it. If you want to check him out on YouTube, Logan Cubes, check him out, subscribe to him, makes some pretty good videos. But back to the cube, it's not that great, but it's a nice novelty item, good for the collection. Doesn't turn the greatest, but that's fine. And then these 3 cubes here, just some Mickey Mouse cubes, mini cubes, all the same. Turn better than that one, but you know, they're picture cubes, so I don't solve them very often, but also good for the collection. And then this one, I took 2 of the Mickey Mouse cubes and turned them into a Siamese cube. Once again, just for the collection, don't turn that great, but it's fun to make, took a couple minutes, and it's definitely worth it for the collection. Last cubes I have here are Cyclone Boys 3x3s. I got a 6-pack, and of course, as you guys have seen before and a couple weeks ago, I turned them into Force cubes. Still have not gotten the chance to sticker these cubes, but they turn great and they're very fun. I can't wait to get stickers for them. Definitely will be ordering some stickers soon off the Cubicle. So, pretty good cubes, very fast, very stable, don't pop, and lubed them with weight 4 once again. And yeah, so these were very fun to make. Check out that video. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and yeah, I'll also leave a link in the description to my PyCube video if you haven't seen that, just last week. So here's my collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.